In our previous video, linked in the card above, we explored the reasons behind separation anxiety in dogs and shared some tips on how to manage it. But now it's time to move from theory to action. Today, we're going to walk through a simple, yet effective, pre-departure routine that can make a world of difference for your dog. This guide outlines 6 clear steps that will help reduce anxiety and set your dog up for success, making their time alone much more peaceful. Let's get started. Step 1. Provide physical and mental exercise before leaving. One of the most effective ways to help a dog manage separation anxiety is to ensure they are both physically and mentally stimulated before being left alone. Dogs, especially high-energy breeds, need an outlet for their energy, and if they don't get enough exercise, they may resort to anxious or destructive behaviors. A good walk, run, or play session before the owner leaves can go a long way in reducing this pent-up energy. For a dog that typically shows signs of anxiety, it's important to match the level of exercise to their specific needs. A high-energy dog like a Border Collie or Labrador might need 30 to 45 minutes of brisk activity, while a smaller or older dog may only need a 15 to 20-minute walk. The key is to tire the dog out just enough so that they are more likely to rest when left alone, but not so exhausted that they become irritable. Mental stimulation is equally important. Dogs that are mentally occupied are less likely to dwell on the absence of their owner. Puzzle toys, treat dispensing balls, or even a short training session can engage a dog's brain before the owner leaves. Mental challenges can be just as tiring as physical activity, and they help the dog focus on something positive rather than worrying about being left alone. It's crucial to give the dog about 30 minutes to cool down after exercise before the owner leaves. This cooling off period allows the dog to settle into a relaxed state. When the departure happens after this quiet time, the dog is more likely to transition smoothly into a calm, restful state rather than becoming anxious. Step 2. Create a safe, comfortable environment. After ensuring that the dog has had enough exercise and mental stimulation, the next step is to create a safe, comfortable environment for them to stay in while the owner is gone. Dogs are highly sensitive to their surroundings, and a calm, familiar space can make all the difference in how they handle being alone. This space should be somewhere the dog feels secure and where they can relax without being overstimulated by external noises or distractions. For some dogs, a crate can serve as the safe space, especially if they have been crate trained from a young age. When used correctly, the crate becomes a den-like area where the dog feels protected. It's essential that the crate is always associated with positive experiences, such as treats, toys, and soft bedding, so that the dog views it as a comforting place rather than a source of stress. If the dog isn't crate trained, a quiet, familiar corner of the house with their bed and favorite toys can serve the same purpose. Adding comfort items to this space can further ease anxiety. A favorite blanket, a toy the dog loves, or even a piece of the owner's clothing with their scent on it can provide reassurance. Dogs rely heavily on their sense of smell, and having something that smells like their owner can make the separation feel less severe. These items help create an environment that feels consistent and familiar, which is crucial for a dog dealing with anxiety. Owners can also use calming music or white noise to help soothe their dog. Music specifically designed to calm dogs has been shown to lower heart rates and reduce stress levels. Playing this type of music at a low volume can help drown out external sounds, such as traffic or other animals, that might agitate the dog. White noise machines can also be an effective way to create a peaceful atmosphere and block out disturbing noises. Step 3. Practice calm, low-key departures. How an owner leaves the house can have a significant impact on a dog's anxiety levels. Many owners unintentionally escalate their dog's stress by making a big deal out of saying goodbye. Prolonged, emotional farewells can signal to the dog that the owner's departure is something to be feared or worried about. To help reduce anxiety, it's important to keep departures as calm and low-key as possible. Instead of giving the dog too much attention right before leaving, the owner should aim for a neutral, relaxed departure. A quick pat or a calm, reassuring word is sufficient. The goal is to make leaving feel like a normal, uneventful part of the day rather than a moment filled with drama. This helps the dog understand that the owner's departure isn't something out of the ordinary. Another important factor is routine. Dogs thrive on predictability, so establishing a consistent routine around leaving the house can help reduce their anxiety. If the owner always follows the same pattern, exercise, a calm resting period, and a quiet exit, the dog will become accustomed to this routine and start to anticipate the owner's return rather than focusing on their absence. It's also helpful to avoid rushed or stressed exits, as dogs are very perceptive of their owner's emotions. If the owner is running late, rushing around, or visibly anxious, the dog is likely to pick up on these cues and become anxious as well. Taking a few moments to leave in a calm, composed manner can make a big difference in how the dog handles the separation. Step 4. Gradually desensitize departure cues. Dogs are incredibly observant and often pick up on the small cues that signal their owner is about to leave, such as picking up keys, putting on shoes, or grabbing a bag. These cues can trigger anticipatory anxiety, causing the dog to become stressed even before the owner has left. To reduce this response, it's important to gradually desensitize the dog to these triggers. One way to do this is by practicing departure cues without actually leaving the house. The owner can pick up their keys, put on their coat, or walk to the door and then sit back down without going anywhere. Repeating these actions several times throughout the day can help the dog learn that these cues don't always mean the owner is leaving, which reduces their anxiety over time. This process of desensitization should be done gradually. At first, the owner might just pick up their keys and then immediately put them back down. Over time, they can extend the amount of time they spend performing these cues, such as holding the keys while walking around the house. The goal is to break the strong association the dog has between these actions and the owner's departure. In addition to desensitizing the dog to specific departure cues, it can be helpful to vary the owner's routine slightly so that the dog doesn't become too fixated on particular patterns. For example, the owner might leave through a different door or vary the time of day they leave. These small changes can prevent the dog from becoming overly anxious about a specific sequence of events. Step 5. Offer engaging toys and distractions. A bored dog is more likely to become anxious when left alone, which can lead to destructive behaviors or excessive barking. One of the most effective ways to combat boredom and anxiety is by providing the dog with engaging toys or distractions that keep them occupied while the owner is away. This helps shift the dog's focus from the owner's absence to something positive and stimulating. Interactive toys, such as puzzle feeders or treat dispensing toys, are great options for keeping a dog entertained. These toys encourage the dog to problem solve and provide a rewarding experience when they succeed. For example, a Kong toy stuffed with peanut butter or yogurt can keep a dog busy for an extended period, especially if it's frozen beforehand. These types of toys not only engage the dog's mind but also satisfy their natural instinct to chew and forage. In addition to interactive toys, owners can create scent-based games for their dog. Dogs have an extraordinary sense of smell, and hiding treats around the house or in their designated safe space encourages them to use their nose to sniff out the rewards. This activity not only keeps the dog mentally stimulated but also provides a natural calming effect, as sniffing is a soothing behavior for many dogs. It's also important to rotate the toys and activities offered to the dog. If the dog always has access to the same toy or game, they may lose interest over time. By varying the types of toys and puzzles, the owner can keep the dog engaged and excited about their alone time, which helps reduce anxiety and boredom. Step 6. Gradually increase time away. Finally, it's important to gradually increase the amount of time the dog spends alone, especially if the dog has severe separation anxiety. Sudden, long absences can be overwhelming for an anxious dog, so it's best to start with short periods of separation and slowly build up to longer stretches. This approach helps the dog learn that being alone is safe and that the owner will always return. At first, the owner might leave the house for just a few minutes, then return before the dog has a chance to become anxious. Over time, these short absences can be extended to 10, 15, or 30 minutes, depending on the dog's comfort level. The key is to increase the time away gradually so that the dog can adjust without feeling overwhelmed. During this process, it's important to keep departures and returns low-key, as mentioned earlier. The owner should avoid making a big deal out of leaving or returning, which helps the dog remain calm. If the dog shows signs of anxiety, the owner can shorten the time away and gradually work back up to longer absences. In some cases, owners may need to enlist the help of a dog walker or pet sitter for longer periods of separation. Having someone check in on the dog during the day can break up the time alone and provide the dog with some companionship and exercise. This can be particularly helpful during the early stages of training, as it gives the dog a break from being alone for too long. If you're looking for more ways to strengthen your relationship with your dog, check out the first comment below. We've included a link to an ebook packed with tips to improve your dog's behavior and overall well-being. By following these 6 steps, dog owners can create a structured, supportive routine that helps reduce their pet's separation anxiety. Each step plays a crucial role in helping the dog feel more secure and less stressed when left alone. Over time, with consistent practice, dogs can learn to handle their owner's absence calmly and confidently. Whether it's through physical exercise, creating a safe space, or gradually desensitizing departure cues, these strategies offer a clear path toward easing a dog's anxiety. With patience and dedication, owners can help their dogs feel more at ease, making separation less stressful for both the dog and the owner. If you found this video helpful, be sure to check out our other content on managing anxiety and improving your dog's behavior. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips and strategies to keep your dog happy and healthy.